Hey guys. Okay.
Phone. Hi everyone, I'm Artisan and welcome to another episode of the Aeos podcast. Oops, some technical difficulties, but yes, we have with us today one of the Oceanic teams for Pokemon Unite, team 1620Kings. So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Thanks.
Really good.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks for having
Pretty
us.
good.
Nice. Nice to see it, like some of the faces that I don't really get to see usually. And yeah, maybe you guys want to introduce yourselves a little bit more, what your name, maybe your current life stage, as well as if you have previous mobile gaming experience and what brought you guys into Unite.
Who wants to start?
You,
Yeah.
Cap,
Ben, do you want
since
to
you're
start?
still
Oh,
first.
no,
Okay.
Ben. He's at the top. Cap. People always say my name wrong, so try to pronounce it. Don't just say Cap. It's easier. MOBA experience. I don't have a lot before this, just the casual stuff. This is the first competitive, but I've been playing, computer games for 20 years, something like that.
Oh.
I've been playing games longer than some of these guys have been alive. Where I'm at in life, just working and enjoying Pokemon. Also, you're up.
Hey, yeah, go by Buster, because it's the name of my cat. And I guess at the moment I just live at home with the family. Enjoy playing Pokemon competitively.
On
There you
previous
go. Oh, sorry.
Me?
No, I had no previous experience on MOBAs, but yeah, I've enjoyed playing competitive games and everything for a while through all my teenage years, and then found this. Fell in love with it.
You can
Blue.
Alright, so hey guys, I'm Plu, also known as Plutherin or Lutherin. So yeah, before Pokemon Unite, I played a bit of League of Legends, but never was really good at it. And played Pokemon Unite since mobile release. It was my real life friends who invited me to play, but then
Oh.
they ditched me. Then
Oh.
I kept playing, and fortunately came across this wonderful OC community who just encouraged me to keep learning and improving. And then I got introduced to streaming, and things just rolled on from there. So I've never really been really good at gaming, and Pokemon Unite is sort of my first step into the professional arena. Currently,
Right.
I'm living out alone, in a country town. So
undisclosed location.
yeah,
Undisclosed, off the map,
undisclosed.
off the
Yes.
grid as well. Except that
Mhm.
half the face is now on the Eos podcast.
Which is good. Kian, you want to go?
Mm.
Or
Yeah, I can go. I'm Kian. I'm a Unite streamer as well. I don't know, current life stage, I'm just chilling, just having fun, but like Plu, I played casual League before this, and I kind of found this game because one of my mates told me about it, and I was like, yeah, why not? Let's try it out, and I ended up really liking it, so stuck around since. But yeah, really, it was just like I just really like Unite now. I don't think I play any other game aside from it.
go. Guess I'm last. I'm Bem, or my in-game name is Bem KO. Just because it's gonna be a fun thing where I just kill people because I usually play tank or support. Um, Current stage in life, I guess I just graduated uni, so just working right now. Daytime and then nighttime, just playing Unite with all these guys and girls. Previous gaming experience, I played semi-professionally Dota 2 for probably like really long, since first or second season of Dota 2.
Wow.
And I got to Unite just because I've always followed the Unite development schedule. Like whenever the first trailer came out, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna go for Unite. So I've always been out there for Unite and MOBAs, so huge Pokemon fan.
Definitely can see that from the skateboards at the back. They look so lovely, and yeah, I think you definitely spend like a bomb on it as well. It's quite. I guess it's quite interesting to see like how you guys kind of like came together. Like you guys have some of you guys have like more experience in other MOBAs before this, and some of y'all not so much. But it's still very nice to like see how everybody kind of just comes together and play Unite. So okay, so maybe you guys can share a little bit on what roles you guys actually play in Pokemon Unite, and then also a Pokemon that you want to see in this game for your specific role, and how do you imagine it to be as well?
Ooh.
Ooh, good question.
Um, so which Pokemon do we want for our roles?
What role do you play in Pokemon Unite, and then also a Pokemon that you guys want to see in that role, and how you think it would be played in Pokemon Unite.
I'll go first. I'm the team's jungler. What I would love to see is a ranged speedster, picturing Inteleon. That'd be so much fun.
I'll go next. I'm the team's tank or engage. And Pokemon I really want to see is Umbreon. I'm hoping that they'll release
Umbreon.
all the EVs and Umbreon as a tank role, healing with Wish and all that. So hopefully we'll get that.
I'll go. So, Buster, I play the offlane role normally, and I think a cool Pokemon for that they haven't introduced yet would be Bishop. Would be a very strong offlaner. Not exactly sure how they would play, but that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I'll go next. I play support for the team. I don't know if this will work well as a supporter, but I kind of want to see a Ditto in the game. I feel
Ooh.
like if you're able to, copy someone from your team and then bait someone out, have them attack you instead while the team kind of jumps on them for a gank, I think that'll be pretty cool.
Well, I'm the team's manager, so probably, I don't know, Arceus, so you can manage time and space.
Praise
That'd be
up,
pretty
huh?
cool.
Okay.
Play with the best answer.
But well, before I was playing support, so yeah, I'd rather be a manager, rather be an OP manager. Yes.
I see. Nice. So I guess I do think that we will definitely see like all the evolutions. I mean, that's been like a staple Pokemon thing. Every generation, everybody kind of looks out for that. And yeah, I think Ditto would be quite interesting to see, right? If let's say there's like a mimic ability or something that steals, the whatever opponent's move, that would be quite sick and quite interesting to see how that plays out as well. So yeah, very interesting choices. And thanks for introducing what you guys play in the game as well. I think it helps the viewers kind of contextualize a little bit about how you guys kind of play together, and how you guys, like, I guess, work in a team in that sense. Anyway, before we go into like all the questions about Pokemon Unite, I guess I would kind of just wanted to ask a little bit more about your team a little bit. So who is the biggest troll in your team?
Definitely the person that's on here, Dean, our attacker.
Yep,
I'm
Definitely
gonna
Dean.
throw Dean under
we
the bus.
mutually agreed.
Yes.
Absolutely Dean.
Because he wasn't here tonight, that'd be him. Yep.
So why is he like the biggest troller? What does he do in game to earn him that position?
Well,
I don't know. I
think
feel like he's very aggressive sometimes, and he just don't know where he is.
Yeah, we have a saying in the team which says Dean doing Dean things. So when you look at the map and just see him at some random spot doing who knows what, that's Dean. We never know what he's doing.
I see.
Well, there's a reason why he called himself dangerous, right?
Yeah, because he's Dean dangerous. Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And even in chat, XDD is also saying he's a
Yeah.
troll because he plays Fire Punch, Attack Weight Charizard. And I guess that's
Yeah, he
not
played
something
it
that
in
you
the Aeos
commonly.
He loves that.
That's crazy. I mean, that's also quite nice because like it kind of shows that you guys are a little bit more experimental than the rest of them who always play like the meta picks. And I guess like for the past 2 months worth of cups, like not make up the March finals, and then the Aeos Cup. Everyone is just playing the same old things, and it can get a bit boring. And I guess injecting some fun and like experimentation is going to be quite interesting, especially if there are going to be like future roles as well. So I guess would you consider Dean to be the one that tilts the most in the game as well, or is that
Oh,
reserved for someone else?
definitely, Dean. Throw him right
Definitely.
on the bus.
Not here to defend himself.
Yeah, sure. Sorry, Dean.
Love you, Dean. Enjoy the bus.
Yes, and XDD is saying that Kian is zipping her mouth because but okay, Asha, we shall take your words for it, since you guys are like teammates and all that kind of stuff. So I guess this question is kind of directed to those of you guys who were in Team Balance, because I understand that before you guys joined 1620 Kings, and do you guys call it 1620 Kings? How should I actually call
1620.
it? Oh,
1620.
1620. Okay, 1620 Kings.
Oh,
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 wait for it.
okay, we'll wait for it.
The face reveal
Wait,
is too
there's two.
much.
Oh
The
dear.
Discord couldn't handle it.
Wait.
Yeah,
Wait.
so
There
sorry.
we
Yeah,
go.
I wanted to ask those of you guys who were in Team Balance before this, like how did you guys kind of meet up and form this team?
Buster, you want
Oh, sure. So, Cap and I had been playing together, I think coming up on over 7 months now. Together, been playing competitively, and we've had different friends that have joined. And due to people either moving to other teams or leaving the game, eventually we found these people individually, and now we have a really good group with us, and managed to get picked up for the 1620 Kings, and yeah. So yeah, it's people have come from different places or their own different teams and everything, and we've all found each other, and now we enjoy playing with each other.
Right. Does anyone else from the Team Balance previously have a different angle, or like on how you guys met up and kind of like started playing as a team?
So just from where it happened with me, I was just soloing and having fun. And then one day I randomly got invited to a 5-stack, like just, a random invite from some friends. And I was like, oh, this is a new thing. Let's see how this goes. And
Mm.
apparently the other 4 were all on a call and were just like loving how good my Talonflame jungle was. And they just kept inviting me back. And Buster then sent me a message and said, hey, you were a pro? And I was like, no. But do you want to be? He's like, yes, sure, let's try.
Nice. That sounds great. I mean, I feel like once you go into like a 5-stack, you can't really go back to solo queue and see it in the same light anymore. It's
Yeah,
just
solo
like
queue
so
was
easy
rough.
to tilt afterwards. Like you can only go like one way, from solo queue to 5-man, and then afterwards you can't go back because everything else other than 5-stacks is just horrible. But yes,
It's a in 5.
you guys also picked up Kian, who was from a different team, right? You were from AMW, which stands for Accidentally Made Worlds. That's what I heard. So how was that for you, and like for you to kind of come into like 1620 Kings as a support player as well?
Like, if I might carry the name forward, we might still make worlds. So but having said that, I think unfortunately when my last team disbanded, I was kind of on a hunt for a new team. And a couple of teams reached out, but Buster reached out as well to say that, hey, we were looking for a new support player. Would you be interested? Do you want to come try it out? And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Played with these guys, and it was just, I had so much fun playing with them. And yeah, I think in the first tryouts that we did, at the end of the tryout, I just went, yeah, just let me know, just tell me. And I think it was within a day or so, Buster just message and go, yeah, they like playing with you. Do you want to come through? And I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it.
Nice.
Amazing.
I know. I've ever since, I think I've only been in the team for a week, 2 weeks now, and we've been training hard and we've been playing a lot together. And I've really enjoyed it, and I'm learning so much from these guys, which is, the most I could ask for.
Nice. I think it's nice to hear, like how like Aeos Cup actually caused a lot of teams to kind of break up, and then it's also nice to see like some of the teams forming, trying to find ways around that as well. And I guess it's going to be quite interesting for the makeup, to see all of these reformed teams and how they actually do. I think you guys generally have a pretty good placement in the game so far. I think for Balance, February finals, eighth place, March finals, seventh Aeos Cup placing, fifth. It seems like it's going for this trend right now, right? So and I guess, yeah, one thing I wanted to ask is, like, every single team brings something with them. So how do you guys feel about your team right now, like, in terms of like coming together, Balance as well as AMW? What do you think is special about your team right now?
You want to go?
Well, there's a thing in our team where we really strive when doing chaos, like and I don't think our play style, our personalities play well within like a really strict structure. We want to be a
Mm.
bit more flexible and kind of be unpredictable. So that's pretty much where we say we can have the upper hand against other teams. I guess with the way we play as well as our picks, even our different builds, like Dean doing some troll things, but it works for him. If it works for him, it works for us. So that's pretty much how we'll get the upper hand against the other teams. Anyone else want to chip in?
I think the word I want to use for the team is we're a little off meta, a little unconventional, but I feel like that's also what makes this team so different.
Hmm.
We don't stick to the norms, right? We like to experiment with different things, and I feel like sometimes that does give us the advantage because people never know what we're gonna come through with.
Yeah, I think that's pretty interesting, right? I mean, everyone kind of knows what to expect if you're playing the meta already. You know the rotation timings, you know how to last hit, and then if you bring something new, you can really throw people off guard, and I guess that there's some advantages to that as well. And I think it's also very nice because, like, who knows whether or not Pokemon Unite will have a draft mode or anything like that as well. So I think that would be extremely advantageous if something like that actually happens. So you're no longer kind of like stuck within like certain Pokemons that is always in the meta. And yeah, I think that's pretty interesting, and I'm really excited to see how that works out for you guys in the makeup. There won't be a broadcast, but I think we'll still be able to spectate it, and yeah, maybe have a stream or something like that. But how about you, Plu? I mean, you said that you are currently the manager. So what do you think about like your team, and what's kind of special about it?
What's special about us is, well, Bem and Kian have already touched on it. I think Buster and Cap have also talked about it. So we're always full of energy. So try out gank energy with us.
Do you guys have the
If you put in the code
product now?
1620,
Yes,
Yeah,
that's
that's
you will
right.
get 20%
Okay.
discount. Anyway, so I was actually pretty fortunate to land a spot on Team Balance as supporter. Before that, I'd been a substitute, and I've been called on to play supporter. So I had just a week to learn what Elagos is, and ever since then I've been putting a lot of effort to learning the role, really enjoying playing with the team. But at heart, I knew that I was still an attacker, right? I used to main Cinderace, and every time I streamed, I would solo queue Cinderace. So yeah, when Kian came and I spectated her, I saw just how vastly different having someone who main support, someone who's got that supporter mindset, can contribute to the team. So yeah, fortunately, my teammates, instead of letting me go, they actually offered to give me a team manager role. and the organization that we're now under, 1620 Kings, made that an official position as well. So I get to organize scrims, get to look at and explore all the different facets of Pokemon Unite, get to know different teams, and I think I'm going off track now. So what was the question again?
What do you think is special about your team? But actually, don't worry that you are
I
going
kind of
off
answered
tangent
it,
or anything.
yes.
Yeah,
Kind of
because
implied it.
yeah, because as well, that was kind of like the next question that I had for you as well, which was like, what does what do you feel about changing positions in some sense from like a player to a manager, and what do you do in that as well? Because I think that's something that's pretty interesting, and as Pokemon Unite grows as an esports, right, we will be seeing more of this kind of transitions, and how people do it might be quite interesting to the viewers as well.
Yes. So as a team manager, I help organize scrims, like I said. Also talk with pretty much all the other teams in OCE, get to know them and learn from them as well. So we're really fortunate to be in this community, helping each other grow, maybe have some rivalries here and there, making it really fun.
That
I
makes a
think just
lot of
having
sense.
I think just having Clue as like a manager definitely also relieves a lot of stress from us
Mm.
as players, not having to, do all the contacting and organizing the scrims and all of that. I'm sure like Buster Captain Ben will feel the same. Just having that extra person there to look after things and someone there as well to kind of talk to at the end of the day after a scrim or like after matches, having an extra pair of eyes always helps.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that definitely makes a lot of sense, right? I think in when we're talking about kind of more mainstream kind of mobile games, there's a team manager that's potentially is the coach as well, and it's nice to see like this kind of roles open up, and how people can transit from one role to another within this sport as it kind of continues to grow, and I think that's just really nice to see, because like that really just shows how much Pokemon Unite is kind of like growing as a game and as an esports, right? And I think as players ourselves, it's definitely nice to see like the game grow to kind to something that maybe beats our expectations of what it would be even at this time. Because I think when Pokemon Unite first started, nobody knew how good and how great it was kind of going to be. But now we do have like a pretty strong community between the different regions, and I think OC region as well has been very supportive of the players themselves. I mean, a lot of the teams are getting signed and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I guess we are kind of getting close to the May finals already, and as a newly kind of like reformed team, if I might say so, right? What do you guys think are your expectations going into it?
Into the makeup, was it? Sorry.
Yeah, the makeup.
Yeah. Well, we obviously, you're right. We do have a bit of a new team, considering of a main five, do have some newer players to the team, and I think it's going to be a very good practice. This cup, as to how we play as a team, how we go under pressure in the tournament, to see what other teams are playing. We're definitely each going to be putting in 110% for it.
Mm,
Always aim for first place, but we'll see how we go. Play our best, and yeah, we'll see what happens. Learn from any mistakes we made or anything, and then start getting ready for the regionals.
right. And I think, yeah, I mean, looking at the trajectory of your team, it is like getting better and better. So we can definitely expect you guys to do 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 well for like the May finals that's coming up. So completely no pressure on my part when I say this. Yeah, and I think I think in the previous podcast we were talking as well to bandits, and they were talking about how May finals is definitely this time where people can try out new things and try out the new team compositions or the team members who are also kind of playing with them, because there was so many rotations happening after the Aeos Cup actually happened, right? So I think it's definitely going to be interesting. I think there will be a lot more experimentation, and since you guys are known to be experimental, I think that kind of like puts you guys in a pretty good spot, I would say.
Can't agree more. Can't agree more. It's gonna be a very fun May finals.
Yeah.
We can't reveal too much, but I think
Okay, yeah,
everyone's
yeah,
excited for it.
understandably. So no reveals right now, but I will spectate it when I can. But yes.
No reveals.
Aren't you casting?
No, there isn't going to be a broadcast for OC and Southeast Asia for this one, but we might be
no.
able to do another unofficial one like we did with Nagi and Kilo the other time, but we'll see how that goes because it's kind of like in a few days. But okay, since we aren't gonna talk too much about like what's gonna happen in the makeup, right? I feel like you guys tensed up a little bit more just when I talked about that. But so what are your current thoughts about like the OC scene as compared to like the world stage? I mean, you guys finally had the first broadcast. So what do you guys feel about it?
I don't know if you guys watched the broadcast as it happened, because obviously my old team didn't make it through, so I watched the entire thing. But I thought chat was popping. I felt like us as a community was starting to really just band together and hype up OCE and as well as APAC. The viewer count especially was a lot higher than I expected, so I thought that was super exciting. But like,
Yeah.
what about you guys? What did you guys manage to catch it? And did you have any thoughts?
I didn't manage to catch the stream. I think just in general, seeing I'm not a streamer, I'm not content creator, but I'm seeing a lot more streamers and content creators banding together. Even with all these community cups with GZ running it and Bandit, and hopefully, wink wink, we will run one as well in the future. I think the community is coming together quite nicely, and like Blue said many times, it's quite a supportive community. So hopefully some rivalries come about, but for now we're all supportive of each other.
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of the characteristics of the OCE scene. I mean, I personally kind of participated a little bit in the Ground Zero Cup as well as Bandit Cups. It's really nice to see as competitors, but also as a group of kind of friends, as well as a community kind of just coming together and just wishing the best just for like the scene. I mean, you guys, everyone in the OCE region were kind of like pushing for the broadcast, were pushing for all these community cups, and also a lot of the organizations have been incredibly supportive of you guys. So I think that it's kind of like really paving the way for the rest of the world in some sense, because I mean in APAC there isn't any signed teams as far as I know, and in the other regions as well, like EU, not as many as compared to like NA as well. So I think OCE, very supportive community, very supportive organizations around it, and that's really really nice to see as well. So what what are some of your thoughts on like maybe the current meta, like with the recent Buddy Barrier nerf and Scorcher nerfs as well?
It's good that we don't have to deal with some of the foreign regions playing score comp anymore, which was a very hard thing to deal with the kind of meta in regions like us and NA and that. I think everyone was pretty excited about that nerf.
Yep.
Oh, I,
Right.
I love the fact that you can't stack it anymore. The Buddy Barrier and Score Shield. It's my favorite patch out of all the patches.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
every
even
time I see a Crustal try to ult and dunk, I'm just like, haha, nah, doesn't work anymore, bro.
Yeah, it's definitely made some Pokemon a lot less viable, which has opened the way to the kind of new opportunities for the game, and how people play, different Pokemons that can be played and all that. I think it's still a very new kind of underdeveloped meta at the moment, even though the nerf's been out for a little while. There's no real clear dominating one strategy or not. which is what makes the game very interesting at the moment.
Right. Definitely agree there. I think after the nerfs to Buddy Barrier and Scorch Shield, we saw a lot of changes in the Japanese and Korean metas a little bit. We kind of had to do away with that scoring composition. Thank goodness. I mean, it was horrifying to go against them on ranked, and also I guess yeah, it kind of paved the way for different kinds of Pokemon to come in. Right, we see the Trevenant more, we see Gengar sometimes, and for a while as well, Absol has become a little bit more interesting to and more common in ranked games or even in competitive gameplays. We've seen it in the NA regions and recently in Singapore's Lion City Cup as well. So I think it definitely changed the meta, and I agree with you guys that yeah, it's a very significant one and it's very exciting to see. So we also have like Espeon kind of just being released for a while now. So what are your thoughts on this Pokemon?
Oh, I wish Dean was here.
Yeah, personally, I still haven't played Espeon yet. So, what do you guys reckon? I think a couple of us have though.
I've played
SBO,
a
sorry.
few
go on.
games with it. I can't figure out if it's good or just a weaker Pikachu.
We
Yeah.
did try it in the comp, but it's just the squishiness of the Pokemon is quite hard to overcome, especially with lack of movement as well.
Mm.
And even someone as wild as Dean couldn't pull it off, or he's not comfortable with it. But can't say that he can't master it in a few days. It's just for now, for the amount of times we've tried it, he doesn't. We don't feel like it's as up there. But it might change. Our opinion might change if we experiment some different comps and see how it goes.
With Espeon, there are definitely a few advantages, like the leveling up at level 4, getting ult at
Right.
8. But again, it's at the end of the day, it comes to how well you work those particular advantages into your team and whether or not you're trading off, anything else for it.
Mm.
There's a lot of potential of the Unite move as well, where you can set up quite a bit.
Right.
So all the things that we're
Yeah.
looking at.
There's
It's
potential. There's definitely.
so what that means is they brought out a Pokemon that isn't broken as
Right.
it
Yeah,
came
they
out.
did.
They actually brought out a balanced Pokemon, which is quite nice. Yeah,
Unlike
Yeah, nice
Duraludon.
change.
Yeah,
unlike Duraludon.
Duraludon.
Oh,
That was like, that cup was like quite boring to see because like if you don't pick Duraludon, then you kind of like automatically am trolling yourself a little bit. But now, I mean, we have that a little bit with Hoopa as well. Hoopa is like this Pokemon that you can't do without, I feel. But yeah, I think it's nice to see like some balanced Pokemon actually coming into the meta. But I guess at this point it still feels like Espeon is a little bit outscaled by the other Pokemon that are out there. But who knows, they might the Pokemon company might have a look at it and say like, okay, we need to buff this, and it might actually become quite useful because right now I do feel that there's a lot of potential in it, especially in the early laning phases, but it just kind of scales down afterwards. So maybe if they buff the late game, it might be able to be something like that Ninetales that yeah, I guess it's quite common to see nowadays. But yeah, other than there's also leaks of like another Pokemon, right? I think Delphox was it. So what do you guys think about that, and like what do you wish to kind of see from this Pokemon?
I just hope it's not broken when they release it. Um, I'd
I'm
hate to
feeling
have
it will.
another. Oh, I'd hate to have another Duraludon situation. Like, as fun as Duraludon was, I think that particular meta of just rip things as they spawn is very. It doesn't make for interesting gameplay, and it doesn't really make for
Mm.
interesting sort of competitive scene. But
I'm actually
And it'll
really
be
looking forward to Delphox since looking at the leaks, a lot of skill shots with I
Mm.
think what was it, Flamethrower, and then the charge actually resets or lowers the cooldown, so you can just keep doing it. It's gonna be a really high cap ceiling if we're going with that build. So really excited to see where that would lead, and hopefully people can make some good plays and good content.
Yeah. So Kian, you were saying that with all this ripping and all that kind of stuff, it's a bit kind of like not as exciting and interesting. So what do you define as kind of like interesting to see in like Pokemon Unite?
Yeah, I think the current meta is a great example of like a good meta to kind of be playing out. You've got so many different ways that you could approach a fight, you know. There's obviously you could still go in and rip an objective, but you could also do things, you know. It depends so much on your positioning at the moment, whether or not you pick the correct person during a fight to, you know, get rid of first so that you gain advantage to a team fight. There's so much mechanisms behind the current meta that it just makes it so much more intriguing and so much more difficult as a player to play as well. But that's where the fun of it is. If I don't know, I just feel that personally, if all the teams are doing is coming in, ripping, and then hoping for the best, it just kind of you just see the same thing every game. It's just
Right.
it's not that exciting.
Yeah. And how about the rest? What do you guys think is kind of like an exciting meta or gameplay that you guys have or want to see in like Pokemon Unite?
Ooh, we was talking about draft mode, definitely. We definitely need a draft sequence somewhere. Other than that, meta, guys. What meta do we want?
Well, definitely the draft mode, because I know when we did the GZ Cup, when I did it with Buster, we had so much fun with the bands that we did. Being able to, like, you know, see different team comps every round, which is so much more enjoyable.
Mm,
Yeah, actually makes it a more strategic game.
Yeah, because you can start playing the game before you even play the game.
So that's where our
right.
manager will come in and help us do the homework. Right, Blue?
Yes,
Good luck,
that's
Blue.
right. Lots of homework. And that's where I'll have to fill in my handbook.
Ooh.
Bought this and wrote
Show 'em the
down notes.
diary.
There it
Yeah,
is.
my little Pokemon Unite diary.
Hey.
Are you
That's where
gonna
all our stats are.
show to stream like what are some of the things that are
Let's
inside your
see.
notebook right now? Are we allowed to see?
Some old notes, right?
Well, yeah, some old notes. And they're just like really basic stuff. No advanced tips. On the 24th of
I'm gonna zoom this
April,
in.
I think this is flipped. Is it flipped?
No, it's not.
Okay.
Ooh.
So what it reads is Wigglytuff use Dazzling Gleam to secure kills. Cute Charm can interrupt Duraludon's Unite move. Things like that.
Okay. This definitely shows like the importance of having somebody to, watch your games and like tell you guys all this kind of stuff, because sometimes when you're in the game you don't actually notice all of these things. So oh my gosh. Now we get
Oh.
to see part of like the pie that, Sue is kind of in right now. Like converting from a player to a manager and kind of like a coach and analyst as well. Quite interesting.
Well, Blue was doing this when he was the support player, so
So just imagine
it,
what he can do.
it just came naturally to him.
Yeah, so we're just like, it's a natural fit for him to be manager. He's very good at it.
Yeah. And that's why I guess, feel glad to be part of this team. Everyone really supportive of my abilities. So yeah, I'll be sure to put more effort into it. Fill out all those pages.
Yes,
I
and
appreciate
then
it.
that's like the Pokédex for like Pokemon Unite, I suppose. And then you can sell it for money once you guys win.
Once we win
Yeah,
Worlds, just sell that book.
Yes. And Kilo
there's a
Kilo as
reason
well is
why
saying Plu Big Brain.
there's a reason why I picked Eevee, because it's a symbol for evolution.
Yeah, he has all the
Indeed.
metaphors. He's
Indeed,
real
the
big brain.
progression makes a lot of sense in my opinion, and it's very nice to see. Honestly, I would love to see how like other teams kind of like learn from this, or like how more of this role kind of comes up a little bit more as we reach Worlds. Just a few more months over, but we've seen such big change after the Aeos Cup, and I guess we will still be seeing like a big change after this May finals, and then also maybe before World Regionals actually start. So I think that's very interesting, and you just kind of like showed people that if you're not a player, there's still other avenues that you can kind of contribute to, like the Pokemon Unite community, which is super interesting as well. Yep. And yeah, so other than draft mode, what are you guys excited to see in Pokemon Unite? Like, since some of you guys have backgrounds in like Dota 2 and League of Legends, is there something that you want to see implemented from these kind of games back into Pokemon Unite?
I saw I think a leak not long ago that there was a mode where you could start playing as the wild Mons. I'm actually quite
Ooh.
excited for that one. I kind of want to play as a Zapdos, you know? I think that would just be fun. I don't know how real or reliable that leak is, but
Be some kind of
imagine.
quick mode.
I actually want to be the Lillipup because all the people just keep killing me, so I'll get my revenge.
You get
Yep.
caught between the two people.
Yep,
But
I'll actually get to
Lillipup?
evolve.
Mm.
I think it would be fun to play Abra. Okay, I'm just kidding, but like Abra has
Abra.
been like this
Yeah, bro.
Pokemon that everybody has been chasing because of all the quests that you need to do for your battle pass. But like, yeah,
Mm.
maybe if Abra can evolve and all that kind of stuff, it would be a very interesting character with like the teleports and I don't even know what if they kind of like implement it in the game. But yeah, I guess like um in one of the previous podcasts there was like talks about how they could kind of add different kinds of stuns and status elements, because like I think Pokemon in general, the mainstream games have so many of these, and they have so much different interactions to the games, and that was kind of like something that they would be interested in to have. Like, so do you guys have anything from the mainstream games that you guys want to see implemented in Pokemon Unite as well?
There's of course the draft mode that we talked about. Seen a lot of the bigger games, that sort of thing, and yeah, I guess just the bigger recognition of it, because Unite is still a newer game, hasn't even been out for a year.
Well,
So
actually, I have something because I'm a huge Pokemon fan. When you play Pokemon, you're always afraid that your Pokemon will miss, and
Right.
there's not a lot of
Ooh.
spells that causes you to miss in Pokemon Unite. I think the only one is Eldegoss's Leaf Tornado Plus.
All
So that'll
right.
be a cool mechanic if they can start implementing more miss mechanics. That might really mess with all the auto attackers or the carries.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool.
Or even I think a confusion move that you could damage yourself.
Oh yeah.
That would be
Or like turn the
crazy.
controls backwards so you go forward.
Yeah.
That would be so interesting to see, because like you don't really get to see all of these kind of stuff kind of in other more serious and larger kind of like mobile games. So yeah, definitely bringing something in from like the mainstream Pokemon games would be super interesting to see. Does anyone else have like other things that they want to see from the mainstream games?
Kappa Blue, anything?
Can't really think of any.
I mean, the Pokemon universe is so big. Maybe one day we'll get a different map. Maybe.
Oh yes, that's right. Maybe we'll see Moltres.
ooh.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll change the map eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And maybe, that's something that could kind of bring in that misses kind of thing. Like, I mean, in Dota, there's the high ground, low ground thing where, if you're hitting up to the higher ground, there's a chance that you might miss. And if they just make these kind of changes to like the current maps, or kind of like implement, a Moltres that has different interactions. I mean, we did already see like Articuno coming in, and that interaction kind of changed how the game was played a little bit. So I think, yeah, this kind of small changes would definitely be interesting. And I mean, there's so many Pokemon that they can bring into the game, right? So lots of different interaction, and I guess um more complexity that comes with it will be definitely interesting as well. So okay, I kind of have finished the questions that I do have, but there is like some questions in the Q&A from people from chat as well. So this one is directed specifically to Clue. How who anonymous person asked Plu, how has your learning experience been as a first time manager, and where do you learn such skills such as management within the esports world?
This one's a tough one to answer. Thanks, Anon, for asking it. Well, as a team manager, you kind of have to have a bit of leadership skills, but I think my definition of team management is really to get to know your teammates well and try to manage those. I guess it's hard to avoid the word manage, isn't it? Try to act as a bridge or balance, harmonize the team. So this is pretty interesting because our old team name used to be Balance, so maybe it's just meant to be. So there's a lot of very good resources out there. If you just Google up esports management, I even watched YouTube videos of what other teams
Ooh.
are doing, like League of Legends, Valorant, things like that. There are some really short summaries and also some articles I really like reading. Then I went ahead to Amazon and looked up leadership and management books and just bought a couple, waiting for them to come. Really want to put in the effort to make this dream team, take the next step forward and, well, evolve.
Wow, extremely well said and extremely knowledgeable. I think everybody can like learn from Flu how to, do all of these kind of things. He's really like paving the way for like people who kind of want to go into this kind of role, and I think that's fantastic. I almost said. Okay, and so another question that we have from the Q&A is um I think this is a really quick one, and I think it's quite interesting because like I think there are different implications, right? We've seen Pokemon Unite start off from the Switch, and we've seen it hit mobile phones and become a lot more accessible to like more people. But would you guys ever want the game to hit PC, and why?
That's a very interesting one, huh?
Yeah.
I definitely do. Put me onto Sichuan with a mouse to aim. Ooh.
Oh, someone just left.
Oh, bye, Ben.
He was so excited, but the fact that it
Yeah,
might
he's
come to
downloading
PC,
it now.
that
See?
he's
Probably getting virus.
I think the game would be a lot more serious if it were to come out on PC. Be a lot more serious players and more potential as well to do kind of like LAN parties and that sort of thing with already like pre-made sets. It would make the game a lot more popular, I believe.
Mm,
It would also break the balance.
that is true.
Team balance.
I don't know how the interaction cross-platform will work between PC and console. There's probably gonna be a bit of getting used to if that does come through. Just
For
because the
sure.
way of playing a mobile game on controller or a mobile phone itself, it's so different from how you would normally play on PC. So it would definitely be another shift in meta.
For sure. Yeah, I think yeah. Does anyone else have other opinions on like bringing this game to PC?
I think the guys and everyone went over everything.
Okay. Then another interesting question, and this one is specifically to Kian. It's also from an anonymous viewer who asked have you found it a struggle to put out less content due to playing in a competitive team more now, or is it still the same?
Struggle isn't the word I will use, but it has been different and it is a new challenge. Thankfully and very luckily, this team is quite supportive, and they were well aware that I was a content creator coming in. So yeah, we spoke about my expectations of what I can do for the team, and also what I will also need to do as a content creator, and they were quite supportive with it. So we found a compromise. I shifted my schedules, for example, or even sometimes when even if we have team practice, the guys are still willing to accommodate to what I normally do on stream. So I'm very thankful to them. But it's different, but definitely I wouldn't say it's a struggle.
Okay, yeah, and I think other pro gamers in Pokemon Unite as well, they kind of do that, do streaming still, even though they are kind of like in a competitive team, right? And I think that kind of adds value to the gameplay as well. I mean, doing team practices, I'm pretty sure you guys practice a lot more seriously and maybe get stuck to a few Pokemons, especially if you're a support player. Then you're kind of just stuck on like maybe at one point I guess Eldegoss, and then now it's kind of like Hoopa, and it can get a little bit still, but if you kind of stream and you play other Pokemons, you get to learn how to counter them, and I think it's more beneficial to actually allow them to do this kind of stuff rather than just practicing one or two specific Pokemons. So yeah, I think that's pretty interesting because I think a lot of the competitive players themselves are streamers as well. So this one is by King Cool. I believe it's King Cool. He asked, what is a Pokemon you'd like to see, or a kid from another MOBA you would like to see in Unite? So I guess this is directed to those who play either LOL or Dota.
Ooh.
I kind of want something that's similar to a Thresh or a Blitz as a support, having a pool. I think that would be interesting. I think that would change up a lot of things, the way you'd gank, especially in the way you initiate a fight. I think that'd be interesting.
Well, for me, because I play Dota and my favorite champion is Earthshaker, where he puts up a wall, kind of like Crustal's wall, but you can kind of strategically place it and separate fights. It even has a small stun. So those kinds of characters where you can change the terrain a little bit, not for a long time, but sort of like Crustal's Rock Tomb.
Right.
I'd like to see those kinds of characters in.
Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see that a little bit. In I guess Crustle as well as Ninetales with that barrier move. I just can't remember the name at this
Yeah,
point. Is it Avalanche or something? Where there's a
Avalanche.
wall, yeah. But I guess the interactions of like Earthshaker is quite different from that of what we have now in Ninetales as well as Crustle. And sorry, but Kian, could you explain a little bit more just for those people who don't understand League of Legends or like that
Yeah,
particular character?
of course. So League of Legends has two specific characters I'm referring to. One's called Blitzcrank, and the other one is called Thresh. They have an ability in which Blitz, the way that Blitz uses it, he'll do a quick sort of pull, and a pull the champion towards him. Thresh, very similarly, he will throw like a hook, and it will essentially grab onto an enemy champion, pulling them slowly towards. But Thresh also has the ability to reactivate and go towards the hooked enemy.
Oh wow.
There could be a compromise between the two, but because Gengar's got something similar with his passive where so at the beginning where he uses lick and they'll come towards you a bit, but having that as an actual move and an actual initiation in even later games, I feel like if let's say you're in a 5v5 fight and you want to target, no offense to Greninja players, but you want to target a Greninja, landing a hook on the Greninja, having him CC'd and stunned immediately, bringing him towards your 5-man, and just immediately jumping him. I think that just changes the game.
Dean's been wanting that for a long time.
Yeah.
But on a Lickitung.
He wants a lick of tongue with that.
He wants a Lickitung.
Yep.
That sounds appropriate. Oh wow. Yeah, I think wow, I mean like that sounds like okay, because I don't play League, but I do play a little bit of Dota in the past. That sounds like Pudge, and I think that's actually pretty interesting to have, right? Anything that kind of repositions your enemies, and finally a way to properly hit the backline. It's not without without a Charizard just uniting and all that kind of stuff. Sounds pretty interesting, especially since they kind of brought in Hoopa, which has its level 4 move is kind of pretty much a Dota 2's character's ultimate move, and I think that's pretty interesting to see like how they kind of like take inspiration from the mainstream Pokemon games, as well as the different mechanics from other mobile games, and bring it over to Unite in a different manner is definitely something that is quite interesting. And like the characters that you guys brought up, I think they do have a lot of potential as well. So yeah, let me see if we have any more questions. That is interesting to ask. Yeah, I think kind of around uh, that's kind of about it already. So now I'll just leave you guys this space to kind of just shout each other out and yeah, um do whatever you need to do, shout out kings or anything. Yeah, you guys can do
Well,
this.
we'll definitely have to shout out our boss Ace.
Yeah, for
He's in the
sure.
chat
Yes.
for all
Yeah.
the support he's given us, and as well as signing us as well.
Like, I don't think this would have been possible without Ace. And I think one thing Ace would like us to say is we want to shout out to our sponsor, Gank Energy.
Yes, that's right. Gank Energy. It's all natural. It's vegan. It's gluten-free. You have just about the most amount of active ingredients in 1 gram, in one serving, compared to pretty much every other brand out there. It's basically a performance supplement without much side effects. It does have caffeine in it, but it doesn't give you jitters. So definitely go for it. Put in the code 1620 to get a 20% discount. Taste that energy with every sip.
I know,
That's
I know
Amazing.
another.
we're all joking here, but at the end of the day, I think the shout out really does go to 1620Kings and, of course, all the players in the team. And Dean, we can't forget about Dean, who
Right.
couldn't make it today, but
Our resident Viking.
He's
Yeah.
listening in from his car right now.
is he?
Yeah.
And don't forget to check out Kian's stream and Blue's stream when they
Yeah.
stream.
And
Oh
Dean
yes,
stream as
and
well.
Dean stream.
And Dean
Dean?
streams as well. And
And-
last but not least, I think, make sure you guys follow RT.
Thanks for the
Yes.
shout out as well. All right,
Yeah,
and
thanks for having us on.
no problem, no problem. Yeah, if there's no more shout outs for anyone, I think we will end the podcast here. Thank you guys for being such awesome guests, and I hope you guys had fun on this interview as well. And yeah, I do hope that the Aeos podcast is really a way for us to showcase a little bit more of the Southeast Asia as well as the oceanic scene. And thank you guys once again for being here. We'll go for a short break, and I think I will be playing a little bit of Unite afterwards. So if any of you guys want to stick around and play some games, yeah, be be ready when I come back. I should be back in like 5 minutes or something. So yeah, see you guys. Bye.
Sure. Thanks. We'll
Yeah.
see you later.
Bye, everyone.
See you, everyone.